Hey everyone, it's FLAK. Battlefield 2042's 1.2 update just dropped. It added a revamped kaleidoscope map, some bug fixes, and other improvements. As part of the release, DICE hosted a Battlefield briefing via the official Battlefield Twitch channel. This explained the bulk of changes and additions in the patch, but DICE also had a surprise. There's another map on the horizon for Season 2. I honestly did not expect DICE to let anything out of the bag for the next round of content, mainly for two reasons. First, the game still isn't in a great state, and second, revealing that there's an upcoming map probably won't have the impact that developers expect it will. We'll talk about that shortly, but with Battlefield on the rocks, I recently reviewed Civilization 6 at gimme.co, so go check that out using the link in the video description. I break down some pros and cons of the 4X strategy game, and you can even ask me questions directly. Make sure to follow me on Gimme and check back regularly for new reviews. Back on topic, a large part of the Battlefield fanbase remains skeptical that DICE will support the game in a meaningful way. The start of Battlefield 2042's live service was delayed for months while developers got the game in better shape after launch. Many fans who waited were underwhelmed with the content in Season 1. 0 Hour included a lone map plus a couple vehicles and weapons. This did not set a high bar, and it raised an eyebrow among some players. A big reason for this are the expansions for previous Battlefield games. With games like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, expansions added significant content, typically 4 to 6 maps, multiple weapons and vehicles, factions, and other thematic content. Of course, these titles were supported by the premium model, not a live service, but that doesn't mean that the expectations have relaxed, or that they should. Battlefield 5's expansions were decent. The game's Pacific expansion, for example, added 4 maps, 2 factions, as well as a bunch of weapons and vehicles. Maps are the measuring stick for many Battlefield fans. If DICE launches a second season of Battlefield 2042 propped up by a lone map, many players will view this as an admission of defeat and the establishment of a trend for the remainder of the game's life cycle. That would be extremely detrimental, especially when you present it side by side with previous releases. Presuming DICE continues the trajectory established with 0 Hour, a dark future lies ahead for Battlefield 2042 and perhaps indeed the entire franchise. I put together a chart showcasing what Battlefield 2042 support will look like unless developers find another gear. It also illustrates how far Battlefield has fallen in terms of supporting their games since Battlefield 1 and the shift to live service. The light blue line here represents where we're at with Battlefield 2042, and the red tracks support for the game if DICE adds a single map with each expansion. The chart is also rather generous, as the base number of maps includes the classic Portal maps that sometimes make it into rotations. Remove that, and it's even more painful. Hopefully, when DICE reveals the upcoming map for Season 2, it turns out to be one of many. We should know more later this month, as developers have said details on the next season will be arriving soon. Until then, I guess just hold your breath. There is a bit of a silver lining here. It's no secret that the last couple Battlefield titles struggled early to get content out the door, right? It took Battlefield 1 6 months to release more than one map. Battlefield 5 managed it at only a slightly better pace, and although it took 8 months for the first Battlefield 2042 map to drop, my point is that it often seems to take Battlefield devs some time to roll out content in sufficient quantity, and the community is somewhat expectant of this. Part of this is sequencing and resource management, which at this point hopefully has improved. It is entirely possible DICE roll out Season 2 with multiple maps and more substantial content. However, Battlefield 2042 is still a bit of a different ballgame. Developers foolishly haven't canned the 128-player game modes and have confirmed that they will support that player count in the future, though future maps will be tighter and more oriented towards traditional player counts. No matter what they do, they are still going to be hampered by the fact one map has to be playable on a multitude of modes, which makes it master of none. Regardless, Battlefield 2042's next expansion will make or break a big part of the fan base. DICE and EA have reiterated their commitment to supporting the game, but so far, that arguably has not materialized. If they don't deliver, remaining interest in the game is likely to falter and dissolve as steadfast fans shelve the game in favor of one receiving proper support. On the flip side, if developers deliver a robust content drop, it will galvanize those who have stuck by the game and might even boost player numbers and community morale. If the content is substantial, this would be an excellent way of DICE showcasing they're actually willing to back up their talk and promises. There is some precedent for this, of course. DICE mounted an incredible comeback with Star Wars Battlefront 2 and even Battlefield 5, the latter poised for a renaissance before the plug was pulled in favor of none other than Battlefield 2042. I am curious what you think we'll get in Season 2. Personally, for me, it's going to be the litmus test for whether or not developers intend to give Battlefield 2042 the attention it needs, but again, I'm curious to hear your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If not, a dislike. Make sure to subscribe, tap the bell to get updates on the latest Battlefield videos. If you want to support the channel, keep your money, share this video, or check out our new Shorts channel, link down below in the video description. As always, thanks for watching.